Sleep is the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together, said English poet and dramatist Thomas Dekker in 1609. Sleep is a universal necessity of life, required by all living organisms in order to perform normal daily functions effectively. From the youth to the elderly, beginners to professionals, non-athletes and athletes alike need sleep to be at their best both physically and mentally and to perform at their full capacity. Due to the correlation between an athlete's sleep cycle and athletic performance, it is critical that the athlete attains optimal hours of sleep for maximal athletic output. What is the driving force behind the need to sleep? The sleep cycle is largely controlled by a day-night progression, or the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is an internal 24-hour clock that affects almost all living organisms, determining when the organism falls asleep and wakes up. This internal rhythm causes humans to perk up at about 9 in the morning, become sleepy around 2, experience another surge of energy around 6 in the evening, and finally return to a sleepy state at about 10 at night. Muscle strength, anaerobic power output, joint flexibility, and self-chosen work rate all share a direct relationship with this natural rhythm. What benefits does sleep provide for athletes? Sleep serves to rest and restore the brain. Sleeping also assists the heart muscle with recovery by allowing the heart to reload its cardiac metabolic stores, decreasing the risk for heart disease. This is critical because the heart muscle needs to be in optimal condition in order for an athlete to properly perform aerobic exercise, or exercise that utilizes the cardiovascular system, at peak levels. Additionally, an athlete's level of energy and focus at practice or in competition is highly reliant on his or her sleep total. An athlete's mood, which at times is just as critical as an athlete's fitness or skill level, is significantly influenced by sleep as well. If an athlete's emotions become negative, motivation and/or controllable factors such as effort may decrease. What impacts does lack of sleep have on an athlete? Sleep deprivation can instigate higher concentrations of cortisol, a stress hormone. This translates to higher amounts of stress, decreased tissue repair, decreased bone building, decreased fat burning, and less available energy to burn. Also, sleep loss combined with rigorous training results in higher occurrence of injury and illness. Power and skill sports especially suffer the most from lack of sleep. This means that sports such as football, basketball, baseball, soccer, and many more are highly impacted by a relatively small amount of sleep debt. Some interesting facts. 1. It only requires about 20 accumulated hours of lost sleep to identify obvious differences in athletic performance. 2. Just 2 hours subtracted from the normal sleep time is equivalent to consuming enough alcohol so as to produce a blood alcohol level of 0.05. Therefore, similar to the effects of drinking alcohol, the decision-making of the athlete is impaired and thus his or her performance level degrades. 3. Sleep loss affects females more than it does males, meaning that women are more vulnerable to psychological distress and unrest. Female athletes must take even greater care in managing their sleep total.
Had enough?
Let's go.
In other words, an athlete must acquire a sufficient amount of sleep in order to train and compete at higher levels and to maximize his or her performance potential.
Legends are born.
Montana on the rollout to the right side. Close up. Being chased. Finally fires in the end zone. Clark, touchdown! Dwight Clark catches the ball.
The 49ers would engineer another near-perfect drive to win the Dekker.
All-time scoring leader in October of 1989.
To the side of the net. Taylor to Gretzky. He scores! Wayne Gretzky has tied it and broken Gordie Howe's record. She missed a penalty kick against China in the Algarve Cup and they lost that game.
So, with this knowledge, how will you prepare for your next competition?